And we should be live. Good evening, everyone. Great to see you all in the chat section here. Ghost Vapes, nice to see you. First from Puerto Rico, Humberto. We got Texas Didi here. Bucky VW, good to see you, my good friend. We got Al Daly. I've got a great guest lined up for you. Mike and I are very happy to sponsor this chat with Brandon, who is the curator of the YouTube channel Shifted Perspective. And honestly, Brandon has been someone I've known for a long time, actually. I think Brandon and I share a lot of common themes. He's a car guy. He loves to detail. He's really into his garage, and I've noticed that he's not going to be selling us anything. He doesn't represent a brand, but his knowledge, if you watch the videos he creates, he's just a very all-around knowledgeable guy. And one of those people that you meet and you think you know a lot about cars, but then I think when you start listening to him talk about cars, especially BMWs, you start to realize maybe I don't know as much as I thought. So very interested to be picking his brain, and I put some work into the 10 questions tonight, so I'm really excited for that. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is bring Mike in. So Mike's been working, like you know Mike. Those of you who know Mike, he's the hardest working man in Hollywood, I like to say, even though he's from Northern California. So let's bring Mike in. Hey, buddy, how are you doing?
What's up, Rick? How you doing?
Well, I'll tell you, it's been a busy day for me.
Oh, really? What'd you do? Did you detail?
Not as busy as you.
Did you detail a car?
No, what we did is we actually went ahead and did our turkey dinner that got postponed because of our family illness during the holidays. So I just had myself 2 plates of turkey. So if I fall asleep 3/4 of the way through the live stream, everyone knows it's not because of our guests, it's because of the turkey.
Luckily, we share this thing, so I can, eventually I can try to take over this.
Yeah, you take it over when you see me.
If I see you nod off, I can just take over there.
We got 𝗓𝗓 in the house. Got Barbara back, 2nd week in a row.
Yeah, I see Texas Didi in the house. I see Justin from Mountain Town Detail in the house, which I need to stop right there because when I checked before I ran downstairs, Justin's like 20 away or so from like hitting to 1,000. And if you guys can, real quick, go to Mountain Town Detailing and subscribe to his channel real quick. Help him get to 1,000, because 1,000's like huge. Thousands is when you get monetized, and that's like a huge milestone. So if you guys have not subscribed to Mountain Town Detailing yet, please do me a favor. Go to Mountain Town Detailing real quick. Subscribe to his channel, and then we ain't gonna continue this live stream until you do that. So,
and we know who you are,
and we're watching. So Barbara, Angel, Keith, Joe Van Steeder, I'm watching. All right.
He's watching you.
I'm watching you right now. HM Auto Detailing. All right, I'm watching you. Dala Detailing. I'm watching you all right now. Get you guys over there right now to Mountain Town Detail and subscribe to his channel, because we ain't gonna continue until we get this done.
Oh, I just saw someone that I really look up to in the chat.
Oh, Pan's in here?
Well, I look up to everybody, but we've got 𝗓𝗓𝗧𝗢𝗢, who's one of my favorite YouTubers, man. His video skills are, I don't know though. I think he took his comment away. I think he's shy. He's playing coy, but 𝗓𝗓𝗧𝗢, if you want to sub to a YouTube channel, a quality channel about cars, 𝗓𝗓𝗧𝗢 on YouTube. Awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, why don't we've got 34 people. That's pretty good for right off the bat.
Yeah, right off the bat.
Blushing. Good to see you blushing.
He is blushing. 𝗓𝗓𝗧𝗢𝗢, how you doing? Daryl, thank you, Daryl. So how's everybody doing? Hey, so what's everybody doing on a Saturday night besides hanging out with us? You know, what's everybody doing?
Well, we got some people from Canada, of course.
Oh yeah, all the Canadians in the house.
There's a lot of us.
Yeah, there's a few of you guys.
Well, tell you what, I mentioned a little bit before I brought you in, Mike, about Brandon. He's someone I've been following on YouTube probably close to 10 years.
Wow.
Or it might have started in the garage forums. I know he's got very tight connections with the crew at Obsessed Garage. And I'd like to say our paths sort of did this over the years. So let's go ahead. Let's welcome Brandon to the feed. I think he's coming to us from Columbus, Ohio. Here he is. Brandon, welcome.
Thanks, guys. No applause needed.
Brandon, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, Mike?
I'm all right. Oh, yeah, there we go. The man, the myth, the legend right there. Brandon.
So, Brandon, thanks so much for coming. I don't know if you've ever watched a live stream that Mike and I and Eric do.
I've watched some live streams. Maybe it wasn't live, but I've watched the videos for sure.
Good. So you know what you're in for a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. Nice. I hope these questions are brutal. I mean, great ones.
They're never brutal.
No, they're not. No, they're never not.
But
B, auto detail, I appreciate it. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
B just subscribed to Justin's, so I appreciate it for all y'all that are sitting over there going to Mountain Town Detail and subscribing. I appreciate it, helping them out. I mean, when I hit 1,000, I mean, I don't think I slept that night. I was excited. I mean, it's like a milestone. I mean, it's like that's when you actually start getting paid. You don't get nothing from 0 to 999. You get nothing at all. It's you have to get to 1,000. That's when you actually start getting paid.
And we're going to talk a little bit about that because Brandon's channel, I think you're up there, hey, Brandon?
Yeah, he's at 1 billion.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
No, it's 26,000 or so.
Nice.
And well earned.
I don't know about. I think Rick, you probably had this where I started my channel early enough where there were no minimums. But the truth is, when you have less than 1,000 subscribers, anyways, you don't really make much. So people are worried about that 1,000 increment or the views. But the truth is, even when you pass that, you still have to keep cranking through. So
yeah, you do.
Even without that minimum, it was still difficult.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about your channel's called Shifted Perspective. I've been a fan for a long time, and I love the variety of content you bring to the channel. So why don't you just tell viewers a little bit about what can they expect when they go and visit Shifted Perspective on YouTube?
So the best way I describe it is it's something, the video is something I'd be doing anyways. So I don't normally film something to film it. I know a lot of channels are like that, which can be exciting, but for me, I feel like it's authentic. It's something I'm interested in, and a lot of it's detailing related. So sometimes it is product specific. I got a new product, or I've been using a product, or I had a process. And then it's garage stuff. And then it's also specific to the car. So like I have an M3, so if I change something on it, or when I tuned it, or when I did the exhaust, so of course any changes with the car I'm trying to do a video on because I don't know, I think that's interesting. So BMW, I have a Ford Raptor now, so I do some truck stuff too. But it's usually anything, modifications, detailing, you know, dialing it in. So your viewers are probably used to the detailing stuff. So my stuff's not as cinematic as yours. It's a little more raw, I guess, but it's still, I try to keep it a little concise. I don't want 35-minute videos of just random things. So I try to keep it focused.
Yeah, well, I can relate on the your channel is more of a chronicle of what goes on in your car life versus versus a curated channel where I'm going to put out a video about this, and then next week I'm going to put out a video of that. It's more just your video diary, basically, of a car guy. I recently saw you took the Raptor on a pretty good road trip.
Yeah, so I drove the round trip. It was 3,000 miles. So I thought it was kind of interesting. That was a little more raw, just kind of more of a vlog style.
Yeah.
Most of the videos are a little more organized than that. Oh yeah, Joe. Thanks, man. Yeah. I think a handful of our subscribers probably share channel. They may.
Yeah.
So if they like your channel, they tend to like mine, and that's why I like yours, is because your stuff is similar to the stuff that I like, which is the stuff that I film. So.
Yeah, I was telling you a little while ago. It must have been about a year ago. I was watching you change out a bulb on one of your cars, and I was watching. I don't know if it was you were putting an LED bulb in the trunk or something. You know, something very important. And I was just mesmerized by it. My wife was like, "What are you watching?" And I was like, "You wouldn't understand." She's like, "No, I want to know. What are you watching?" I'm like, "Brandon's changing the bulb in his trunk." He just doesn't understand us.
Yeah.
She can't understand.
Yeah. No, it's fun. And I mean, initially when I started it, I always liked consuming content on YouTube in general, but I also thought it was valuable. Like, it was so interesting, you know, someone sharing stuff.
Yeah.
And I was always hesitant to do that because you're worried about people judging or seeing what you have or whatever, especially if it's a car, like a nicer car or whatever. But I don't know. I always just found it more valuable to share it, and I learn a lot too. So.
Yeah. Well, I remember I watched you do a detail at your old place years ago, and I was like, it kind of gave me the courage to share my process because, like you said, the internet is not a judgment-free zone. You know, one person sees you do something wrong, depending on what kind of person they are, they might like attack you for it. So, yeah, I took a page out of your book, man. I was just like, well, if people want to share and want to watch what people do, I'm going to go ahead and try it too. So thank you for that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're opening ourselves up, but I think for us, this, I would say, smaller, more concise, very specific things, people aren't hanging around hating on you usually.
Yeah, I remember I was really into 𝗗𝗘𝗧𝗢𝗏 Garage. Are you still really into 𝗗𝗘𝗧𝗢𝗏 Garage?
I have a few things, like, I don't know why, but like their window cleaner, for some reason, I like that better than other ones. And it's got to be so similar. But there's a few things like that I still use from them. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you detail for other people, or is it mostly just on your own cars?
So what it's really come down to is the answer is yes, but it's a very specific scenario. Like, for example, my neighbor got a new Jeep Wrangler, brand new, like in fall, and she wanted it ceramic coated. And she's like, the dealership says it's $1,000 and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, she's like, what do you do? Should I do ceramic coating? Is it a ripoff? I was like, well, all of my cars are ceramic coated. So if that's any validation, that's how I feel, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I didn't come over here pitching for you to do it. I'm like, here, I kind of quoted, I probably under quoted, but she's my neighbor. So I just drove it over, washed it, ceramic coated it for a few hours one night, let it set, and then that was it. So those kind of situations where I'll have a friend with like a nice Porsche or whatever, he's like, I just want a good wash before I put it away. So those kind of situations I do, but it's not a very high quantity. It's like maybe a car a month at the most.
Well, we're very similar that way, but Mike, like I said, Mike's probably done 4 in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, Mike's cranking them out left and right. Yeah, he's a beast.
He is a beast.
Yeah.
Now, did you do a video for that ceramic coating for your neighbor?
No, I didn't. I don't really have a good excuse other than, as you know, and I don't know if the viewers really realize this, but it takes significantly longer to do a project when you're filming than it does when you don't. So that was a job that I needed to just kind of get done, and
Yeah,
wasn't in the cards for that
I
scenario.
totally know where you're coming from, and I think there's a lot of viewers in the comment section. They know too how much time a video can add. I honestly I don't even want to calculate it, but I bet it at least doubles it in my mind.
Yeah, no, it's at least a third more depending on what it is.
Yeah.
For especially for meaningful, like for you especially, I mean, all it takes is, you know, the door to be blocking the light when you're trying to film the door jam or something. I mean, it's really simple stuff that takes an extra 5 or 10 minutes to get right.
I'm glad you realize that. I hope people realize that. And it's also,
I know.
It's also the space it rents in your mind, right? Like there you are polishing and you're trying to, you know, correct these swirls, but you're also trying to think about your next shot. Like it's just so nice to not actually do a video and just focus completely on the detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we appreciate all the people and watching our hard work.
So go ahead and give us a like. Make sure you subscribe.
Sure,
all right.
Yes.
I think introductions are over. We're going to move to stage 2 here. We're going to do the 10 questions for you. Okay.
All the links are in the description.
Yep.
Everyone likes the BMW stuff. I'm seeing so many things about that's good. Everyone, I see a lot of like, I'm subscribing because you like BMWs. That's good.
Oh, thanks.
They're going to be mad when I saw that I sold my M5, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, you know, you don't seem like a guy who doesn't have any moves left.
There'll be another move eventually.
Yeah. I just want to say thanks to my friend Nostalgic. Now, like I said before, you guys need to check that channel out. And probably the best car vlogger I've seen. His camera work is just... He did this one sequence of filling up a car at a gas station. Just put it... And the way he cuts it, oh man, he knows he's the king of B-roll. Sorry, B-roll. All right, thank you so much, Nostalgic. So we're gonna go to the first question.
In the U.S., it's B-roll.
Well, we call it B-real up here. Some people think I look like B-real from Cypress Hill.
Yeah, some people might not know what Cypress Reel is.
No, they need to do their homework, don't they?
Yeah.
All right, Brandon, question number 1.
Let's go.
I hope you're ready, Brandon.
Where does your connection to detailing stem back to?
It's pretty simple. I've always liked to keep my car like cleaner, nicer than the average person. Even when I was like 16, first started driving, I didn't think of it as detailing, but I was always doing something. So, and then eventually as detailing and social media grew, that gives you a sort of a specific name for it.
Yeah.
A purpose, more of a purpose as opposed to something you're kind of doing. So yeah, I remember even just buying a clay bar, and I had like a Honda Accord at the time, and I read online that you're supposed to do that clay bar, you know, whatever it was. I didn't really know what it was doing. It was scratching the paint, right? Because you have to polish after, which I did eventually end up doing. But that's the stuff that I didn't really like think of it as detailing. But now, you know, and then it just grew from there. You know, you see more stuff, you learn more stuff, you realize that there's actually other people like that. And then eventually, obviously, more in modern times, you see other channels like yours or other people doing detailing or other people going further than you. I see you taking your wheels off your car, you know, left and right. I mean, maybe that's just what I remember, but that kind of stuff, like, man, this guy's taking his wheels off. Why am I not doing, you know? So it just kind of goes from there. But yeah, my stuff I try to keep clean. I'm generally a cleaner person, so that's kind of where it stems from. And I think it's cool to make something better than it was before, you know?
Yeah, Brandon, that's awesome. Do you get a lot of like guys new to detailing contact you through different social media, just ask you questions about the process?
Yeah, I get questions here and there. Most of them are on the videos, or I have an email now that I put in my video description where someone will ask a question specific to what the video might be on. So I get a handful here and there.
It's a good
So-
reminder, isn't it, that we're all at different levels of experience. There's always new people coming into it. And, I learned this through teaching. You might have taught something 50 times, but it might be this person's first time learning it. So I get a heck of a lot of questions, and I like them. I find it can take up a lot of time responding in a real way. So, yeah. But Mike, when you were a kid, did you drive a pretty clean whip?
You know what, dude? I had a Geostorm. Dude, that thing was pretty cool. I liked it, and yes, it was pretty sweet. I had 212 Boston acoustics in the back.
Oh, of course you did.
I loved that thing, and
Dude.
yes, that thing was sweet. I freaking loved it.
Was it blue?
No, it was green.
Green. Oh.
It had dual overhead cams on it, and that thing was sweet.
Well, you know what? Keep your eye on Bring a Trailer. Those kind of cars are always popping up with 6,000 miles on them. You could go buy your childhood car again.
Yeah.
Well, my childhood dream car, the Dodge Omni GLHS, was recently on Bring a Trailer, sold for $15,000 US.
Wow.
They said it was 90,000 miles or something like that, but I think it had been around the clock a few times. But let's go to question 2.
Uh-oh.
So where can we find you when you're not tinkering in your garage and creating content for your channel?
Well, so that's like, what am I doing when I'm not detailing or filming videos?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I do a lot of that.
Yeah.
I do a lot off camera that people, or off whatever social media, that you don't realize. I'm sure you're the same way. But I like house DIY stuff, which I don't really do any content on. I thought about it, but for me, that's just no cameras,
Yeah.
So I like doing improvements to the house and things like that. I would say I work 5-6 days a week, so I'm pretty busy. That's what sucks me away from the detailing stuff, is I'm at work a lot. Otherwise, I'm kind of a big foodie, and I can appreciate like a nice handcrafted cocktail and kind of the story behind stuff. So I've kind of made friends with a few GMs at restaurants that, we kind of like the story behind things, like, why are you doing this process? It's kind of the same thing with food or drinks. So on the weekends or whatever, if I'm going out, I like to go to the places that have kind of a meaningful delivery of food or drink. So that's kind of my other thing that I like that's not car related. But
yeah, well, let's not go down the rabbit hole, but are there some good eateries where you are?
Oh yeah. So Columbus has a lot of good restaurants. I mean, some of them are more chain oriented, but there's a lot that are more, they have a good chef, or they have a specific menu, things like that. So yeah.
I found in the last decade, this city that I live in has really raised its food game. I don't know if that's everywhere. It just seems like the chains don't dominate the way they once did. People are becoming more discerning.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good sign. People, despite the whole pandemic, people have money to spend and they want to go out and enjoy themselves. So it's always a good sign if you ask me.
Yeah, I'm just going to say goodnight to one of our overseas viewers. All right, there's a sort of a related question coming up later, so I think we'll move on to question 3 for you here. So I noticed you like the BMWs. When did your fascination with BMWs take root? And why?
So,
and why
I've had a few people ask me this in general. And the real reason is that I didn't know how to drive manual when I started driving, because no one that was close to me and my family knew how to drive. And I was very stuck on learning. So the solution was to buy a manual car and drive it, right? Every day. And I wanted a sports car, and I wanted a rear-wheel drive coupe. And this was in 2000 and, I don't know, 2010 and 2015. I don't know exact one. But anyways, I was looking for a car that had those things: coupe, rear-wheel drive, manual, and the 3 Series E92, not the M3, it was a 335, was the one that fit the bill. I liked Subaru, but that was 4-door. I liked Audi,
all-wheel drive,
but they're all-wheel drive. They're a decent amount heavier, and I did read some things about reliability more than the BMW, at least of that generation. We don't need to get into Audi versus BMW war. I don't want to do that. But I liked the Audi more, but there was enough stuff that kind of spooked me about it and I think generally they were more expensive, at least the ones I wanted, like the S5 or whatever. Anyway, so that's what led me to a 335, which was the BMW. I've always liked BMW. So that's what was my entry to BMW in general. And then it just spiraled from there because I had never modified cars. So then you start learning that BMW has a lot of enthusiasts, and then I learned about the other cars BMW has, and then a little bit about the heritage and why the M cars are special, and I've always wanted an M car. So then, of course, that's kind of where everything went from. But it really stemmed from an organic want of just like a manual rear-wheel drive car. And that's the 3. I kind of didn't want a BMW because of the stigma, to be honest with you. I was like, I don't really want to be a BMW, like one of those blinker people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So
that's good. I like that. It came
Yeah,
from a pure place. It wasn't just the brand that attracted
Yeah.
you. Kind of what they created. Awesome. And how many BMWs have you owned in your life so far? Is it 3?
So I've had the 335. I have the white M3 still. I had the black M5, which I sold, the E39, which I missed that car. And I currently have a E46 ZHP. So I've had 4 total.
One of my favorite BMW themed videos you put on was some guy thought he had an M5, and you had to let him in on the fact that it wasn't an M5.
So I thought when I walked up to it, it was an M5.
Oh, right.
So I was filming it and thinking it was an E39 M Sport.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, wow, that one's an M5. Wow, wow, wow. And then I looked in the mirror, in the window, and I realized it didn't have a manual because the E39 only came in manual. But that car was not a manual, and it took me a second. And I'm like, uh-oh. And then that's when the moment, like, maybe you can appreciate this. Should I even do this video at all? Because I sound like an idiot thinking the whole time I'm narrating, saying, here's a there's an M5. This guy kind of made it look janky, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'm realizing that I'm the one that sounds like an idiot because it's not an M5.
Well, you know what? That's part of the reason I love your channel, man. It is real and it's raw and it's entertaining.
Yeah,
we've all done that. Anybody who says, "Oh, I've never mistaken a car," give me a break.
Yeah. So, but I never forgot. I learned from that, so I never made that mistake again.
Well, it was first attempt in learning. All right, here's question 4. What do you see happening in the detailing world that you really like?
I like that it seems reasonable for someone to take care of the car the way that they want. There's information, there's professionals of every level, right? Yeah. Mike is over here. So people have options and information. So I know that sounds kind of like a softball answer, but it's nice. Like people at work have, you know, that I work with are not into cars really, but they know even from me that like, don't go to the car wash, but you can do this, this, and this, which is still reasonable to make your car set up right or detailed right or whatever. So it's nice that people have the option. And of course, if you're hands-on, it's nice that the information is out there. So I like that, honestly, the information consistency is out there. Obviously, there's some misinformation, just like with anything. But I like that there's information in sharing. The detailing products are always cool. having your hand on ceramic coating is great. I was a little nervous when I started ceramic coating my cars, just because you hear the stories when it first came out about you can't repaint the panel or whatever, like stuff like that, high spots. But the information for me is kind of the number one, but the access to pretty good products pretty easily is also pretty good. So
yeah, I have to totally agree with you. In the last decade, it's become so accessible for everyone, wherever you are in your All right. This is the flip side question to that. So what do you see happening in the detailing world that causes you great consternation? There's a big word for you.
Only a teacher can come up with those words.
That's right.
Great consternation.
Yeah,
honestly, I don't like the obsessiveness with like the ceramic boost, those products, the ceramic infused stuff. Some of it I get that you want a shorter, you're not worried about duration or longevity of the product, or you need something really quick. So I know that there is a sort of a demand for that, right? Because everyone has a different process. But it feels like marketing takes over that to some extent when it comes down to the ceramic or the graphene thing. It kind of constipation.
It's not what
that could be a problem in any industry. I mean,
yeah, you can have constipation regardless of where you are as a detailer.
If it's at the same time, that's a big problem when you're trying to detail. I haven't had that
video
part,
right? You're trying to video it, but you're on the toilet. Is this? I'm sorry. I got to apologize for the immaturity of our viewers, Brandon. I know your viewers are probably much more mature and higher up
and they're here weekly. I mean, bi-weekly.
Jeez.
They used to be here weekly. We had to slow them down, go every bi-weekly.
Oh my God, it's all
you
going.
Better be careful with your words, Rick.
I know. I got to dumb it down for my American audience.
Oh,
shots fired.
You forgot where I am? What's going on here?
But you're my buddy. You're my buddy. I don't mean you.
Okay.
I don't mean you.
Is this a roast or what? What are you doing?
Dude, those are fun. I've been watching that on YouTube, the roast.
Me too.
Oh, I love roast.
On YouTube. Those are funny.
We got to do a roast with someone. We'll have to have someone
not being on it.
Yeah, where's Dee? We could do a roast with Dee.
Awesome. So I don't know where we cut you off in that. I kind of.
It's the answer is the marketing behind even things like the graphene and ceramic and stuff like that. It feels like that's very pushed in the marketing realm as opposed to functionally, what do you want? And I know that's like overly deciphering like what a word is, right? What is ceramic? Because maybe it does have it in there, so that is the right word, but it's not what people think. People get confused.
Mm-hmm.
Ceramic coating versus ceramic spray versus ceramic tire. It doesn't, it's almost like too general. It's not the same solution. It's like someone saying, I went to an automatic car wash. That's the same as going to Mike. It's not, I mean, it's a wash. They're both washes. That's correct, but they're not the same. So that's I'm almost getting on like a tangent here.
No,
be careful, Rick, but it's frustrating.
Just don't hurt anybody. Don't punch anything. I hear you.
I'll stay calm.
And if you go down that rabbit hole and you buy every new product that's marketed well, you run out of cabinet space real quick. Canadians aren't real. Canadians aren't real. Be real. All right. You got a concrete truck backing up on your driveway, Mike? What's that beeping?
I think so. It might be Amazon delivering more stuff to me.
They back the truck up. That's how impressive your purchases are.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go to number 6 here. Oh, I never asked this one. This is a new question. So, of all your friends' cars, which one do you secretly or not so secretly pine for?
Like the one Like the one that I would
want it.
want.
Like when you get a ride in it, you just think, I should have this car, not him or her.
Well, that's easy because it's the background on my phone, and I think he knows it. But it's my friend's GT3 manual. Yeah, manual painted sample. Beautiful car.
So that's your phone wallpaper. Your buddy's.
Yeah, yeah, that's the lock screen.
Well, you were the perfect person for me to try this question out on.
Yeah. Well, you caught me. I mean, those are, if someone has a high-end car or something, it's great. But that every time, like I have a couple of friends that have Ferraris, right? But the GT3, for some reason, every time I'm like, man, I'd have this. I'd have that. Don't care. I'd rather have that. So that's
you ever see something like that in your future?
Eventually.
Yeah.
Well, the prices of stuff now is anything cool was now cool priced. So.
Well, I saw Matt from Obsessed Garage recently parted with his white one.
Yeah, I saw that, but he's getting another GT3.
Oh yeah.
It's
all right. Now, you said some people at your office will ask you about car washes and whatnot. You get into conversations with people. Question 7 asks, what does your wash process look like given you live in a challenging climate?
I hate it. And there's minimal washing. So for me, I do not wash other people's. Well, actually, I do help my friend who has a detailing company wash. But for me, I do 2 things. I'll go to the self-service bay where you put your credit card or coins or whatever, and I will blast the car with water, not the soap, not the brush. Obviously, I mean, most people out here know that.
Cringe.
I just want to clarify that people don't think I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So I'll do that. So I'll either do a quick blast, which is just sort of an intermediate thing. On occasion, I will fill my buckets up. This is what I used to do when I lived in an apartment, slumming it. I'd have to fill the buckets up with hot water, drive them to the bay, and then do a wash, which they don't want you to have buckets there, by the way. Most of the places don't like that. I don't know if that's everywhere, but at least here. But usually they're cool if you go in the morning or you go during an off time. So I'll do that. The other thing is I'll catch a warmer day at home because I can't wash in the garage and I can't wash when it's freezing temperatures. So tomorrow is going to be 55, 60 degrees Fahrenheit, which is very warm. So I'm probably going to wash one car tomorrow. I'll actually do a full normal wash. And then I'll park it for at least a few weeks because I want to keep it nice.
Preserve it.
But that's really the only options I have is catch a warm day at home and do a normal wash. And I will wash when it's like 50 degrees or 45 degrees Fahrenheit. My neighbors think it's insane because they won't wash when it's 80, let alone 50. But yeah, so those are my options. It's not fun, but hot water in the buckets and the nitrile gloves help. They're not insulated by any means, but they keep the direct skin off of stuff. So,
thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, I wish I had your setup though.
You're allowed to. Thanks. You're allowed to wash on your driveway in Columbus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Normal. Not. Yeah. There's no. So you're not by the city, or is it a?
Yeah, city bylaw.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We're allowed. I'm a little further out, but yeah, there's no restrictions there.
All right.
Nice.
Number 8. Get a lot of interesting answers to this question. So, how do you reward yourself after one of those awesome days?
Awesome, like in general, awesome.
You just killed it, man. Are you going to go for a drive out in the countryside? Papa Smurf, our guest, our host, co-host, wasn't able to make it. He likes to cook up a nice steak on the grill.
Yeah.
How do you spoil yourself?
I would make myself a nice meal, or going out to a nice restaurant. Sometimes I'll buy myself a nice pair of Nikes. I mean,
There you go.
sometimes you just search and you're like, you know what, this is a good opportunity. Been thinking about a pair. You know, let's do it. So I'll do that. The drives are nice, but I kind of plan them, so it's a little. I get a little on edge if there's inclement weather or whatever. You know, I kind of want those to be meaningful. So if that jives with the time horizon, then I definitely do that too.
It's interesting you say that, because question 9, do you consider yourself obsessive?
So yes, I forget that like I am, but I'll be like telling my friends stuff and just telling them like normal. I reward myself with that. Hey, that's good. I wish I could now. I have a bad schedule, but yeah, I think I'm definitely on a different level than most people.
So not to get super serious, but do you ever feel like your obsessive nature works against you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It's like, it's really good in ways, like you can probably appreciate this. Like it's rewarding, it's fun, it's the drive, the pursuit. Like it's so much, it's cool, but I don't know about you, but like it can be very overwhelming when you have all this going on, right? There's more to be worried about because it's not as simple. If you don't care about your car, you're not stressed if someone bumps it.
Yeah.
You know, that's an overly simple example, but yeah, it can get to me. It's gotten to me a couple of times where it just kind of, you just have to disconnect for a while, which is why I've been slacking on the YouTube videos. So if people go to my channel, I was pumping out videos and I've been a little more sporadic recently. And that's
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
I noticed that when I first went on there, when Rick told me that you're coming on, then first thing I did was like, well, let me go over there and start looking at it. Then I was like, well, wait a minute, this guy's like a month, 3 weeks. I'm like,
yeah. I used to try to do, 1 or 2, plus the winter time, to be honest with you. It's just too forced. You know, I'll do some winter drives or some winter updates, but it was just a lot. So
yeah, well, and you keep it real, right? Like your channel is a natural chronicling of your life, and there's times where there's just not much going on. I've set myself this goal that I want to put something out every week, and I feel like that helps my channel's growth and the health of the channel, but I don't, I don't want to do another video of me washing my SQ5 again.
Well, the truth is, people come to your channel for that. Sometimes you forget. I forget, right? They come to the channel because it's consistently that thing. So don't forget that.
Good point. I had a video.
I don't care about what you're watching. I care about, you know, your how you edit your videos, your angles that you're giving us, you know, what you're doing to your videos is what we're coming there for. You could put a Ford Pinto on there and watch it. I don't care what the damn car is.
I think a Ford Pinto video would actually blow up, Mike. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. You know, I don't care what it is. It's what you're doing and how you're editing it is what I'm coming there for. I'm looking for those reverse bubbles and that fucking sword video swirl, whatever you're doing when you're doing your wipe down on your thing. That's what I'm coming there for. I'm like, when's this gonna happen?
No, you're the best. Mike, by the way, Brandon is the nicest guy. He watches everyone's videos and loves everything everyone does. And you're just such a supportive member of this community.
I like Bill shit. He's so BS.
Who told me to say this?
I know, but the damn Venmo didn't go through. The Venmo didn't go through.
All right. Yeah. Well, I think everyone who has some skin in the detailing game has a bit of an obsessive bone, I guess the best way to say it. But I there's other parts of my life where my obsession does not. Like, I'll fold my towels perfectly, but my socks are, who gives a crap? There's just a mountain.
Yeah,
I don't fold my socks. My wife does it for me.
There you go.
I definitely pick and choose. It's easier that way.
Yeah.
If you tell yourself, this is going to be a certain way, and then this is not, right? It's at least for me simpler. So yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the final answer. So far, you got 9 out of 9, Brandon. I'm very impressed.
Wow, I'm doing great.
This next one you got to think real hard on.
I'm nervous.
You better be. This next one's gonna be tough.
And we've asked this to dozens of people, and we've got all kinds of answers, like from Jaguars to Roombas. Number 10. What is a recent non-detailing related purchase that left you highly satisfied? Can't say Nikes. You already said Nikes. Can't say Nikes.
Nikes. Yeah, I kind of messed myself. Okay, so here's a good one. Here's a pretty good one.
Okay.
My desk and computer setup, where I'm at right now, I put a lot of thought into the whole setup and the monitors and the keyboard and the tabletop and stuff like that. So that was a obsessive process to get that figured out. So
can we see it, or would it be too hard?
Well, I'm trying to think of how I would.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I'll find a picture.
Can you put a mirror behind? No, we're just kidding. All right, so
I had a mirror.
No, he left that in his
desk setup. Well, it's 2 cinema displays.
Okay.
With a vertical Mac mount behind the one. And then I did Apple keyboard, and then I did this MX Master 3 mouse, and I have the Master 2 at work. And then I did a IKEA butcher block top, which is like, I don't know, it's pretty wide, it's pretty long, so it's simple.
Good for you. Do you do a lot of work from home? Or is that just all for your sneaker shopping?
It was during COVID. I was working from home pretty frequently, but now it's only 1 or 2 days a week.
Well, you're set up for those days when you do. All right, we're going to go to viewer questions. Thanks for taking part in our questions. I give you a 10 out of 10. Very solid performance. So Humberto is one of our most loyal viewers. He's from Puerto Rico. He asks, do you have a favorite business book?
Oh, that's a good one. There's one that is not as popular I actually read recently. It's called The Compound Effect. The title somewhat gives away about the compounding of smaller activities that yield a better result in the long run. But it's really not even a long. I already gave my book away, or else I'd send it to this person. I already gave it to someone because I thought they'd enjoy it. But that's a good one. There's other ones like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. There's a few other ones that are pretty good, but The Compound Effect is not as talked about. That's really good. So I'd say check that one out. I
like that. Flying under the radar about a good book.
Yeah. It's good that I read. D. Thatcher. Oh yeah. I have been a little bit obsessed with the lawn, by the way.
Nice.
I'll do a couple lawn videos, but they really don't get many views, which makes sense. The Sunjo D. Thatcher for the money is pretty good because it beats going to rent a machine, and it's the rental machines are better, but they're way heavier. You have to transport them, you have to pay for them, you have to clean them, you have to put them back. So that is just not I would say the Sunjo is good. Get it for $100. And sorry, I just saw that. I don't know if I was supposed to answer.
Yeah, no, Mike's a little trigger happy. He's throwing up the questions before we're there. So
I'm assuming
you're talking about thatching your lawn.
Yes.
And you have a pretty big yard out there?
It's not super big. It's less than 5,000 square feet.
Well, that's big for me.
That's the size of Rick's house.
Yeah.
Just the main floor. Mike?
Yeah, just the bottom. Yeah. So it's not too bad, honestly.
All right. Well, somebody had, what was that one? You had another one from
That was Humberto.
Humberto.
Would be
Humberto's asking, what would be your ultimate business superpower?
Business?
I don't know. I think he thinks you're a big shot businessman. Are you a big shot businessman and I don't know about this?
I wouldn't say. I mean, oh, there's a pup.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm a financial advisor that's my job, my real job. But I would say I'm a big shot. I would say ultimate superpower. It's too obvious. It's like the power of, listening and understanding. I mean, that gets you so much further than talking what you have to say. It's listening what other people. In recent years, I feel like that's very valuable. So that's the best answer I could think of.
Well, it's a very, very deep answer, and we've got it from some very brilliant guests that, just shut up and listen. We a lot of us love to talk. You got to listen. That's how you. All right, let's go to this viewer question from Daryl. Says, what is your go-to sealant or wax?
Ooh, that's good. I like Polish Angel Master Sealant and Polish Angel Rapid Wax. I bought them kind of as like a combo. It lasts a while. I used to use like the Kozolnik combination that Matt from Obsessive Garage, I think he calls it. But I think the Polish Angel stuff is better. It's easier. It may be a little more expensive, but I really liked it. So I would say check out Polish Angel. It's Master Sealant Rapid Wax.
Yeah, see, I haven't had a chance to play with any polishing.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's worth a try if you have a car that you're trying to do sealant and wax on. I had that on my M5. I really liked it.
Sounds good. All right, I'm just looking.
nice.
Mike, you've got a question about your puppy. Is she a pit bull?
No, she's an old English bulldog.
There you go. Cynthia's asking detail guy where he's located. Okay, here we go. Where did this go?
She's my baby. She's my baby.
Any other questions?
Yeah. What's your favorite polisher?
Polisher? Oh, the Rupes LHR 15. I have the Mark III actually.
I have the same one.
Okay.
And I hate it.
You hate it?
Yes.
Yeah. I haven't used a lot of other. I've used the Mark II. I've used.
Actually, it's sitting right.
Yeah.
There. That's where it's sitting right there. Yeah. Right there.
Why don't you like it, Mike? What's the problem with it?
It don't like curves.
You could do the washer mod. Have you done that?
No, right next to it is sitting the Shine Mate.
Yeah.
The Shine Mate is sitting right next. That Shine Mate loves curves. And I like curves.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Mike! It's a family show.
I'm just saying. I didn't go in and see 17 on it. I just said I like curves.
This is one thing that I've never really wrapped my head around. Tell us about the washer mod for the Rupes.
Oh. Well, I don't know if Mike wants to chime in, but I can give you my base. Mike's a pro.
Yeah, tell me about it. No, I'm no pro. So tell me about this washer mod thing. Because every time I turn my Mach 3 on, unless it's a straightaway, that my Rupes is going to stall.
So the washer mod reduces, I would say, the sensitivity for the plate to stop spinning if it's not completely flat. Mm-hmm. So it means you have to be more diligent about your work, right? You can burn the paint or the edges easier, but obviously the DA is designed to reduce the chance of you messing up. to
Yeah.
say it very generically.
Mm.
Adding the washer to the backing plate adds I don't think they recommend it. Like, I don't think 𝗘𝗚𝗚 like wants you to do it. And I'm sure they have some warranty thing that's whatever, but it reduces, or it keeps the pad spinning when it's not 100% flat, which means going around a curve, if you have some degree of skill or you're very skilled or whatever, is less, you don't have to worry about it stopping spinning and you can still get the panel done. So
would
again,
it be,
it's more advanced.
so it'd be harder, it would be harder to stall out.
That's right. Yeah, sorry, that's a better way to
Yeah,
say it.
because it just it reduces the friction.
Yes.
I haven't
Yeah.
done it on mine, but I'm like, I don't find that I have that same problem. You
I
must
haven't
be
done it
pretty
either.
handed, Mike. Like, are you a heavy polisher? Like, are you?
I'm just a heavy guy.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to go there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But I use, if there's a curve or there's a tight area, I'll just use a smaller machine, which back in the day, I only had like one. So obviously you don't have that option always, but ideally you have another option.
Yeah, I got the G8 for smaller stuff, and now I got the now I've picked up the Adams Mini Swirl and the SPTA Mini.
Yeah. The G8, I think I used that at 𝗔𝗨𝗧𝗢. That was a few years ago, and that was pretty cool. That's a good one. I've heard really good things about that. I just haven't really used it enough to say much, but yeah. I would say get a good 15 throw, like kind of a middle of the road before you do other things if you're starting out.
Yeah, it's more controllable. It's more flexible. Use it more.
Yeah,
I really love the 𝗘𝗚𝗧𝗢𝗏 LHR75E. That little 3-inch.
Yes.
Damn, that thing's versatile.
That thing is a powerhouse. Like, I think that's like, I like that almost more, but obviously it's less useful for bigger areas.
But I've used it on a whole door. Just I don't know. Like, I just feel like
Or
I'm
a front
really,
bumper.
Oh, bumpers for sure. Yeah. No, the 15 sees the hood, the trunk, the roof, and some of the doors. All right, we're running short on time here. I just wanted to show this one here. Alex is Bucky VW on YouTube and Instagram. He likes the frames behind you, and that is because you are connected. You're affiliated in a lot of ways with Obsessed Garage. Do you just want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess out of luck stumbled upon Matt's channel before it was what it was. It was just Matt Mormon. Like, it wasn't even, Obsessed Garage didn't exist.
Yeah.
And his videos honestly were very bad because it was like the camera was super far away, bad audio. I think he didn't really have an idea of why he was filming. He just needed an outlet for whatever, he had like an OCD thing. So I didn't really watch much, but YouTube did suggest videos at first. And I'm like kind of clicking through, and then it just grew from there. Like, he started a community, and then I was involved with the community more than the average person. And we connected, and then he had an event which I attended, and then we just became a little bit closer after that. So
yeah, I remember I stumbled upon Matt when he was in the double garage, and he had the 𝗓𝗄𝗧 wall. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. And I was like,
yeah,
hey, this guy's like me.
That's cool.
And then he bought the really expensive 𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗢 1133, and I was and he was washing his cars, and I'm just like, and I've really enjoyed watching his trajectory, you know.
For sure. Yeah. It's so interesting that it is what it is at this point. But yeah.
And if you've been watching, been paying attention to detailing, you know who Matt Mormon is.
For sure.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. This brings us to 8 o'clock. I still got family over. They won't leave. They want to play some Taboo or something. So, Brandon, thank you so much for spending this hour with us. And,
thanks for having me.
Know you.
Nice. Good to meet you, Brandon.
Good to meet you.
And everybody that came in, appreciate everybody that came in to hang out with us tonight. Appreciate it. And if you guys have not yet, please go go subscribe to Justin over at Mountain Town Detail. He is like, let me go check real quick because I know he's getting really close. I'm gonna go check real quick.
Yeah, what's
before I say anything. He is 21 away from 1,000.
What?
I
You
know this
lost
guy's-
him a subscriber.
He's not gonna sleep tonight. I know he ain't. So come on, go to
He
Mountain
was
Town
at 20
Detail.
away. Now he's at 21 away. We're going in reverse.
I know. Hey, just like your last great video when you were at -1.
Yeah, that's true. I was 2,000 views into a video and I looked on the analytics and I had lost a subscriber.
Yeah,
Like, what the?
What are you doing?
I don't.
I know.
Why?
YouTube's real. I don't think it's
I know.
real. I think it's all Jeff Bezos. All right, I won't get
So
into.
check this out before everybody goes. In the month of March, we got 2 live streams, one on the 5th and one on the 19th. Turbo Wax on the 5th and Black Rhino Shield on the 19th. And then in April, we got 3 live streams, Modified Shine, Dr. Beasley's, and Stoners.
Awesome.
So we got, so if you guys have not yet, please subscribe to our channels. All the links are in the descriptions down below. And until 2 weeks from now, we'll see you guys next time.
All right, stay rad, everyone. Hey, Brandon, stick around. Don't leave the stream. We'll chat for a little bit.
Yeah,
Stay
we'll be
rad,
back.
everybody.
We'll be back.